So yesterday I had to sort of discontinue because Adrian woke up. I think he was feeling a bit hungry. So here he is. He's wearing his silliest hat. Yeah. Well, yesterday I said how I'd rang up my uncles and I wished I had not. But I think I forgot to mention this. I had actually emailed Natalie Gamble of NGA Law, and she had told me that there's no reason to doubt that a baby was due, and that I shouldn't abandon the child and the surrogate, and I didn't want to either, obviously. The agency were threatening to fly the surrogate back to Kazakhstan. And if that happened, then I don't know what would have happened. Hopefully, the child would be too far developed to abort it, because 28 weeks. But I wouldn't want to sort of rely on that. And even if it was born, then what would happen to him? He might end up in a orphanage. So there's that, and I had sort of received a picture of a surrogate. She's obviously pregnant. She's been scanned, and even a child, from what I can see, looked a bit like me. This time I was getting phone calls from my uncle every day, see if I was alright. And he was still sort of certain it was a scam. He didn't want me to make any more payments. I got a call from the Building Society on Tuesday, and they told me they would not make the payment, but they would release my bank account, and they wouldn't stop me from taking money out. So, and then after one sleepless night, I woke up and I accidentally FaceTimed the agency's international coordinator. She appeared on the screen, and I asked if I could make a payment to the obstetrician who's going to look after the surrogate, and pay her $1,000 via Western Union via the surrogate, who'd pay the obstetrician, and then I'd fly over and hopefully meet the obstetrician and the surrogate, and maybe even the coordinator, and then if I was satisfied, then I'd pay the rest. So she agreed to that, and I paid £1,000 to the surrogate via Western Union. And then I took advantage, I was a bit cowardly, but I took advantage of the fact that my uncle had to have a medical examination for a heart problem. And on Sunday night I flew out to this country and arrived early in the morning, and had to hang around for about 4 hours. And then I started messaging the coordinators and this obstetrician, and it seemed like they didn't expect me. So after about another 3-4 hours, somebody did eventually pick me up from the airport, and he drove me to the clinic where the surrogate was, and then he took us to a restaurant, and then he took us we got a taxi to this maternity hospital where we were left alone, and me and the surrogate, we swapped numbers, and then we started using the translate feature of WhatsApp in order to communicate. And the first thing she asked me is she said she'd only got 10,000 euros as her fee. She said he'd get 10,000 euros, and she didn't think it was enough, and would I give her another 3,000? And I said yes, because did seem a bit low. And then I had actually asked the agency whether they could find me a nanny, because I've no experience looking after children, and it's a foreign country, and she'd asked the surrogate. I can't remember if I'd agreed to that or not, but anyway, surrogate asked me if I'd pay her €70 a day, and I've been told the going rate was €50, but yeah, I agreed to that as well. So then I watched surrogate be given an ultrasound scan, and yeah, the child did actually look like me. It's, well, a bit like me. I mean, he sort of had like a sort of squarish head, and his eyes were sort of looked like oval eyes, not like surrogates. She's sort of got an oval face, and she's sort of Central Asian. So I left feeling a lot more reassured. I flew back next morning, and after I'd had a full night's sleep, I made the rest of the payment using my Revolut card. Sort of Revolut, sort of like a phone banking app, and it's sort of good for making payments when you're abroad. And they're also good because they will let you make payments that other bank building societies won't let you make these days. They'll still tell you if they think it's a scam. Like it told me that payment I was making was suspicious, but they did let me make the payment. So after that, I felt I could relax a little bit more. So yeah.